What's that?
Yep.
And it, for me, it also.
Not a good thing for our.
I've heard, my understanding is.
Can't get a wide, yeah.
We won't pass them.
Yeah, no problem, what is it, you're not gonna get out. Yeah, there's like way more protection for the girls.
It would make for some good meal.
It would, but my basic understanding is.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Files our systems and everything.
Yeah, because even I took my son down to get a
Okay.
certificate.
All right, well, it's 6:30. I've been given the signal that it's time to start. So I'm going to call us to order. And we do not have any items for executive session, so I'm going to invite us to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
With that, I need a motion to approve the minutes from our 2/11 regular meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Questions or comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? And I get to wax poetic, as Tom would say here. Just a quick update on our search and superintendency search, just to give some pieces. I'm going to be sending around here on Friday. There are focus groups taking place throughout the day. You'll have the schedule come around. Those groups are being formed as we speak. And Matt Cook's going to be here to walk through. My understanding is that we are welcome to be present at any of those. We're not required to be present at any of them, but we are certainly welcome as a way for us to be able to hear some of the feedback. Matt's going to also be preparing some of that feedback so that we hear it for those that have commitments through that day that they're not able to arrange it for. So that's coming up. We'll continue our work, working the process that we outlined back in November, and taking each step forward. We are making progress on our work, and so just wanted you all to be aware that this is happening Friday. And you don't have to make all of it. If you want to sit in on particular ones, please feel free to do that. They will all be here at HTEC. That's all I have.
Okay, I'll continue along the hiring topic. I had shared with you the Assistant Superintendent for Management search timeline draft. For those of you that don't have it right in front of you, talked about beginning to post and advertise the vacancy for Mr. Fall's position here toward the end of the week, if I get the go-ahead from you folks. 3 weeks to post and to collect applications. The week of March 24th to review with the committee that'll be doing the the first interviews, review all of the applicants, and to schedule interviews for the first round the week of March 31st to April 4th. And as the board knows, we've talked about trying to time the search up to coincide with identifying who the next superintendent is, so that they could pick up in that final round with the committee. So if anyone had any questions about that, I'd be happy to entertain it.
I would assume, Tom, it'd be like last time where we'll put together a committee.
Yes, it'll be just like we did, and I'll introduce Janie in just a minute, but just like we did with our new director of facilities, we'll have stakeholders that are going to form the board members and community members and members of the teaching staff and non-instructional staff like we did
Yeah,
before.
I really like the fact that we have 3 board members last time. That was very nice.
Yeah, it'll be, there's no reason not to do it the way we did before.
Thank you.
Okay, and what I'll do for that, I will send out an email to the board to ask who's interested. If you're interested in serving on the committee, just let me know and we'll go from there. Okay, so if it's fine with you folks, we'll go ahead and we'll get that going. Move along.
Thank
Okay.
you.
All right, that's what I had.
All right.
Oh, are you gonna do it? You want me to? While we're on the topic, we talked about our Director of Facilities 3 that we interviewed for, and we have this successful candidate. Janie Sorrell is here tonight. Janie has worked with us for just over a week. We haven't scared her away yet. We did have the opportunity for she to work with Scott Cavalier last week during vacation. She had an opportunity to meet all of the staff. She was able to go to a trade show and meet some of the folks that we work with in that capacity, and had a chance, Janie and Mike and Scott and I had a chance to sit down yesterday, have a nice conversation, and couldn't be happier. Janie brings with her a wealth of experience, and I think as you get to know her, you'll see that her communication skills are excellent, is going to be able to really move us forward in the area that we all take really seriously, and that's our buildings and grounds and in our facilities in general. We've always taken a lot of pride in it, and from the reference checking that we did, any place that Janie's been, the things that have been said fit what we were looking for to a T. So Janie, welcome, and board members, do you have any questions for Janie? Would you want to say hello?
Yeah, I just wanted to say thank you very much for the opportunity. I feel home. I'm very pleased to be here, very excited. Worked in education for a while at Syracuse University, and excited to be back and doing it all for the students, because at the end of the day, that's why we're up here. So I'm just excited to join the team. I've met some lovely people this week, and already fitting in. So thank you very much.
Welcome, Janie.
Do you have any food sensitivities?
Janie, do you have any food sensitivities? Amy would like to know.
We do some break-in bread sometimes, so it's good for us to know if you have
Oh,
diet
no.
restrictions or food sensitivities.
Deer meat, that's it.
That's easy.
We don't do a lot of it.
That's
It's
important.
not been on our menu.
All
All right.
She likes everything that I do, so when you bring it, you can
works.
share it.
That's right, Mounds, bars, yep, I've heard she really likes those.
All right. Well, with that, I think we'll move to our board presentations today.
Yes, and we're moving along the budget building process, and Mr. Falls just shared the presentation with our Budget and Finance Committee earlier, and would like to share it with the rest of the board and the community now. So Michael?
Good evening, folks. Just we'll take care of this this evening. See if the clicker works this time. Not? Go to the old standby. So in tonight's board action items, we are going to be voting on the tax levy limit. And this is taken right from the actual memo that I had sent out. Just a reminder that the tax levy increase, the levy limit, is set at $734,514, or a 4.19% increase. So again, what we're doing tonight, the board is going to approve me to go into the state portal and put these numbers in and say this is what we are establishing as our limit. At this point, we are not choosing the amount that we're going to use in the budget. That will go on further in the process. After the board chooses to what the actual tax levy limit will be for the year, or the tax levy, then I will go in and update that number. So essentially, just a reminder, the tax levy limit, if you go over that, so if we plan a budget and we want to exceed that 4.19%, that's $734,000, you would need a supermajority of a vote to do so. The last board meeting, I kind of put an illustration out to show you the past 10 years, where the vote's been, how many yes votes that we've had. You know, roughly right in that 75% area, some higher, some a little bit lower. But again, with this, if you were to go out and you wanted to pass and need super majority approval and you didn't get it, that acts like a failed budget. So you could still pass by 59%, but because you're not at 60, it would not pass. So with this, if any budget is voted down the first time, you have a few options. You could go out to the voters again. The revote is held in June 17th this year. You could go out and say, we feel strongly about this budget, we'd like to put it out, the same thing out again. You could also go with a contingent budget. Now, if this were to fail the second time, you would immediately go to a contingent budget, which means you could not increase taxes, and you would reduce spending in areas of capital and administration right away. So with this, again, we've never been in a position where anyone's advocated to exceed the tax levy limit. I don't believe that we're in that position this year. But again, this just I want to give you the background on it. So again, after tonight, when the board votes, I'll go in and put in the state portal. By March 1st, our allowable levy limit, or the tax levy limit. So I just wanted to put this out first, just in case there are any general questions before the vote. Okay. So we're going to talk about our knowns. So in the budget every year, we have a series of knowns, or big numbers that we know that either we forecasted, or the fact that it'll be a continuation, and they're large, sizable amounts of our budget. So what you can see are our salaries. We have both instructional and non-instructional. So instructional, you're talking about TAs, teachers, administrators, any part of the instructional plan. And again, this is our general fund budget, what we call our A fund. Non-instructional would be aides, it would be bus drivers, it would be our operations and maintenance, it would be our clerical workers, so anyone that would fall out of that instructional area. So taking a look at this, what I have, the first three parts are actual numbers, right from what we have spent the last 3 years. You can see that going from 21-22 to 22-23, there weren't really huge increases. The reason being is because we had a huge influx, $6 million of federal money to use. So included in this are not the federal monies, not the COVID monies. This is only what we had in our general fund budget. So you can see as we move to 23-24, we started to move away from those numbers. You're actually going to see from 22-23 to 23-24, we actually had large increases, negotiated increases within contracts. So you're going to see that number reflected going with those numbers. Then budgeted for 24-25, as we had talked last year, we had that money now. The COVID money had gone away after 24. We made those adjustments back into the budget, the general fund budget. So you're going to see that number inflate a little bit more. So again, I have our actuals and then our budgeted. One piece that you're going to see in other slides is you're going to see projected. The reason why I don't have the 25-26 projected, we are in the process of negotiating 3 major contracts. We're also in the position where budget and finance has started to kind of look at the numbers to see where we're at. But we also need to figure out salary increases for those who are not represented by contracts. So I've not forecasted that in that number yet. You will see that number as we go through the budget process. You will see that number live and in person, but I have not put it out there to forecast it yet. So any questions about the salary portion?
How many non-contract employees do we have?
I will get you, I have the exact number because I just put it in the spreadsheet the last
Okay.
meeting. I'll email it to you, Amy.
Okay.
But I'm going to say it's well over 90.
Oh, okay.
But I'll send the exact number to you. Any other questions with salaries? So another large portion of our budget, you're going to see our benefits. Laid out in the area of benefits, we have our teachers' retirement system, our employees' retirement system. So TRS includes administrators, teachers, and TAs. All other employees in the district are covered under the employee retirement system. Then the next portion, I feel like sometimes the game show host. FICA, workers' comp and unemployment, another series of benefits, and then finally, health, dental, and vision insurance. What you're going to see, again, we've put the last prior 3 years of the actuals that we have. You're going to see growth across that. As you see increase in contracts or increase in payments to staff, you're going to see that number go up. The multiplier for TRS is essentially right around between 9.9 and 10.1%. So when you're figuring out salaries, that's roughly that amount that's multiplied by. As you can see, there's been a general increase. Again, in looking at this, we had a smaller dip from 22-23 to 23-24. Really that change was only reflective because you have to figure, not only is it salaries that go in, any coaching pay goes into that number, and again, any of the payments that went out for any of our extra activities for COVID, that all went into that number. That's why that number grew by so much from 21-22. As you can see, the number going into 24-25, we're at 1.9 million, and then forecasted again, a general increase of about $100,000. So ERS is a little different. ERS with this number, again, with the amount of the salaries are different than those three big groups that are in the TRS. But what you're also going to see, and it's not reflected here, is you're going to see a differential there because we have so many new staff coming in. They're coming in at Tier 6. There's an offset to these costs. So the employee contribution. I put up the straight up cost here, but there's an offset of about $100,000 in the ERS costs. FICA, again, workers' comp and unemployment, you're going to see that growth. It's a steady growth every year. Going into budgeted and forecasted, we looked at about 6% increase in those areas. The last part, health, dental, and vision insurance. You're going to see that going in 22, 23 to 23, 24, there wasn't that big jump that you've seen in the other years. The reason being is we negotiated with the teachers that year. The teachers, the way that they put in and negotiated their health insurance plan, they actually saved the district about $200,000 going into that year. They also saved themselves as well. So again, you can see that growth moving from 21-22 to 25-26. You're looking at that increase, a little over $2.1 million moving forward. And again, these are areas, these are part of the reason why we get good people here. We offer good benefits for people to come in and work in the district. Any questions here on benefits? And the last piece is our debt service. So what we have is our scale of debt service, or again, this is our mortgage that the district owes on all of our past projects. So you have our 2013 project, which is coming off the books in 2032, which we actually went back through at one point and refinanced this project. So that's one of the things that you can do with the projects, is go back through and refinance the bonds. Our turf project will be coming off in 2034. Our energy performance in 2038, and now you have our current project, 2021. I had explained last time that at this point, because we have not completed phase 2, and we still have phase 3 out there, we've not gone from a bond and anticipatory notice to an actual bond. We don't have solid numbers. I do work with fiscal advisors in Syracuse that for 25 and 26, these are projections they gave me to go with as far as what the cost would be to the district for the current band that we have. The numbers below that, they will increase. And with that increasing, state aid will also increase. But again, I wanted to put a placeholder in there, and I also wanted to explain, as I did the budget and finance, I just didn't make up the numbers myself and say, hey, this would look good here. But again, you're going to start to see this change. One of the things that's important, and again, it was kind of the pattern that was laid out for me over 10 years ago, is when you start to look at it, you want to look at the totals, and you want to see where would be a good spot to start to plan for another project. So the project that we're in now, We knew that our 2003 project and our 2008 projects were coming off the books, so it was a good time to jump out with another project. My recommendation as you're looking, and again, to really look at another project, putting one in place, would be right around 2029, where you're going to start paying for that project when you have in 2032, and then off of that, you're going to have some sizable numbers come off. So again, this is just to look at debt service. Again, a large part, as you can see, of all three areas that we showed tonight, those are three big chunks of our district budget. So salaries, benefits, and our debt service are three knowns, and they're also three big parts of the budget. Any questions on this? So, our coming attractions, again, our next board meeting, March 11th, we're going to review some preliminary estimates of revenue and expense. And right after that, we're going to probably get into the position where we may have some board workshops as well, and start to really dig into some of the numbers. Again, any questions? Thank you very much.
Thank you, Michael. Thanks, Mike.
We'll move along to new business, and with that, I'll entertain a motion to approve the disposal of items from the high school.
So moved. Second.
Questions or comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstention. Need a motion to approve the high school band and choir trip to New York City on April 26th.
Second.
Questions or comments?
Did they readjust that so that band members can go? I was under the impression it was gonna be just chorus.
They must have.
Yes.
They did,
Yep.
that's great, awesome.
Additional questions? Comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions. Need a motion to approve the tax levy limit resolution.
Second.
Questions or comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions. Need a motion to approve personnel as recommended by Superintendent Turk.
So moved. Second.
Questions or comments?
On my agenda, it says under superintendent's comments that we were gonna do an executive session to talk about personnel.
Yep, but then we moved the assistant superintendent for management discussion into my comments.
I have a question. I can ask you privately later.
Okay.
Additional questions or comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions. Brings us to the spot where we get to hear from our community, and Eddie's gonna go to see if anybody's signed up, but is there anybody wanting to be heard this evening? My understanding is we have no board committee reports, other than budget and finance just met, but I think we've heard the fruit of that conversation. So then we'll go to district committee reports.
Yes, we had our PLC committee met earlier today, Mr. Ebner.
Yep, it was an hour-long meeting, and it was simply a logistical meeting of where we're gonna be, who's gonna be where, who's gonna be facilitating what. So I was looking at the overall agenda, making sure we have no conflicts, that we have teachers, doing this facilitated learning session, but, they can't go to this one because it's, aligned at the same time. So really getting a lot of eyes on the schedule. Because I could look at it all day long, my secretary could look at it all day long, we would miss some of those opportunities and create conflicts for teachers, which we're trying to avoid, because we want a robust menu for them as they come into the day, so.
And that's for the staff development day in March.
Yep, March 31st is our next staff development day, just so everyone's aware of the date.
Thank you.
Yep.
All right, that'll bring us to board member activities.
Went to the poetry, what'd they call that, Amy?
Poetry slam.
Poetry slam for fifth graders. That was pretty cool. That was fun to watch.
That was fun. I went to the Heritage Hill, hosted a fundraising event for our Fabius Pompey family that suffered a loss. And it was really amazing. I saw multiple of our own staff members there, which I thought was really cool. And I had heard there were some junior high kids that started a little something, and I thank you for letting them speak and do that and bring it through the whole district. I thought that was really awesome. So, it's for those of you who don't know, the mother was a board member, so it's pretty awful.
Devastating.
Yeah. So, and they don't have driver's ed in that district. So once again, I'm incredibly grateful that we offer that to our students.
Anybody else? Upcoming events?
Yeah, it's just a host of opportunities in the month of March for our kids to show what they've been working hard with and for our community to see them. I hope that you pencil in 2 or 3 of those if you're able to. It's really outstanding to see our staff and our kids and all the work that they do each and every year. So.
Great. Before I move to adjourn, I'll remind board members to be paying attention to your search schedules. We have some upcoming meetings and events that you will remember to be prepared for. So. And with that, I will entertain a motion to adjourn. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, thank you. That's
Thank you,
a wrap.
everybody.